I would say that I was really happy that we had reached those goals. I estimated that there was a 20 to 25% possibility that we would accomplish both milestones, where the ship and booster both made a gentle propulsive landing in the water. So it truly was. We accomplished every goal, which I didn't think was possible, and we have the best team of rocket engineers ever put together, which is how we're able to do these things. Working with wonderful individuals to achieve amazing things is always a privilege. Elon Musk is once again in the news, and this time it's all about Tesla and SpaceX's most recent astounding accomplishments with the Starship rocket. Here's the thing, they were able to soft land the ship and the booster back into the ocean, and you know what? The odds were stacked against them. To illustrate how difficult this task was, Elon himself was placing bets on only a 20 to 25% probability of winning. But here's where it gets really cool. The creative minds at SpaceX and Tesla really nailed it, even if the odds were stacked against them. We are discussing an engineering achievement that has the potential to revolutionize space travel in the future. They have not only achieved their objectives, but also pushed the limits of what is feasible because of their serious abilities and unwavering commitment. This successful landing is more than just a victory. It's a huge step forward, demonstrating that space is the limit if you have the right crew and enough perseverance. These are significant milestones. They're not only about making a landing. They aim to create history, create new opportunities for human spaceflight, and perhaps even pave the way for a time when Mars will be more than just a dot in the night sky. It will be a destination that humans can visit. The success of the Starship rocket by the SpaceX team serves as a daring reminder that taking significant risks can result in even greater rewards. Being a multi-planet species, extending consciousness to other worlds, eventually to other star systems, is what we can do to increase the likelihood that civilization will last longer, in my opinion, as this may support the idea that civilization is ephemeral and delicate. Additionally, this would significantly increase the likelihood that humans in awareness as we know it will live. Therefore, SpaceX's current objective is to break beyond the single-planet barrier. Why is everything about Mars City so fascinating? Elon Musk isn't just launching rockets into space because it's a fun weekend pastime. Nope, he has this grandiose ambition about bringing human civilization to other planets that seems like it belongs in a science fiction film. Yes, you heard correctly. It's going to become interstellar, so buckle up. Think about it. Compared to the ancient rock we live on Earth, people have only been on the planet for roughly 5,000 years. Why not spread out a bit, is what Musk is therefore considering. Furthermore, he is not merely referring to a small human vacation cottage. On Mars, he intends to construct an entire metropolis. Imagine that, a busy downtown, coffee shops on Mars, and possibly even a gym that doesn't have gravity. All of it sitting nicely in red dust. In order to finance the expansion of awareness beyond Earth, SpaceX aims to make life multiplanetary. We'll try to make money from any space-based endeavors like constructing an internet system in space or anything else that has to do with space. But why Mars? Musk believes it might be helpful to have a backup plan. Not just any backup plan, but one in which humans are flying around on another planet, making sure we keep the lights on for humanity no matter what happens back home, in case Earth ever decides to have a cosmic tantrum, like giant asteroids playing tag or our beautiful climate getting a spicy tattoo. It's similar to having both things at once. This isn't just about avoiding catastrophes on Mars. It's about opening the universe and declaring, "Hi, universe, we're here to stay." It's about making those stars in the night sky your neighbors. The problem is that you can always add departments and regulations back in if you remove them. As it happens, those were crucial. You can always replace them. In actuality, this is similar to removing the brakes from a civilization and economy. We must break the bonds that are securing us and preventing our society from progressing. Elon Musk, meantime, is upending the status quo by challenging the way government agencies manage laws, which is igniting debates that may have a significant effect on how businesses like Tesla function. Let's examine what he has to say. Elon Musk is currently contesting the complex regulatory environment. He isn't only following any rules that are presented to him. No, sir. He's essentially saying, "Hey, Can we get a little spring cleaning over here while examining all these antiquated regulations? He seems to be trying to teach. However, there is a rule to follow if you discover that you have taken too much away. If necessary, return at least 10%. The key is to identify the sweet spot when everything functions flawlessly and there is no extraneous fluff. In my opinion, the government's primary responsibility is to make sure that the rules are sound and that the playing field is fair. Similar to a referee, the government essentially acts as the football league, ensuring fair play, reasonable rules, and the ability of the players to play the game. But over time, the government keeps expanding, and eventually, there are more refs than players on the field, which makes for a bad game. According to Elon Musk, governments could learn a lot from the business sector, particularly on competitiveness. He has a point. In contrast to businesses striving to gain our favor, governments frequently enjoy the advantage of being the only option available. Consider the DMV, for example. We've all experienced that unique form of happiness, don't we? It was enjoyable to watch the paint dry while waiting in line. Musk, meanwhile, is stirring things up here. What if government services competed with fast food restaurants to encourage us to come in, to keep us hydrated while we wait? The DMV would likely be giving away free coffee and donuts if it were a burger joint, because we would just move our business to the next rival who treats us like royalty if they didn't step up. For you, that's the power of competition. It quickly transforms May into wow. Musk envisions a society in which public services work hard to maintain our satisfaction or face the possibility of our leaving. Imagine selecting your DMV in the same way that you select your coffee shop. That's an interesting concept that may keep everyone alert. However, as I mentioned, they can view not just what someone said, but also the rebuttals and counterarguments on a real-time interactive platform like X. Additionally, we have community notes, which is really useful in my opinion. The fundamental secret of community notes is that, in order for a note to be attached to a post, those who often disagree on a subject must agree on that note in order for it to be displayed, even if someone writes something untrue, erroneous, or deceptive. Because people who have historically disagreed will only agree on something that is highly correct, the likelihood that it is accurate is very high. Now, let's talk about how we manage information online. Musk identifies a really smart strategy here with community notes, those brief remarks on social media posts meant to provide context or corrections. The approval of these notes must come from those who typically disagree. You're more likely to hear the whole story in this manner, rather than just one side of it. It all comes down to using feedback to ensure that what we read is not just accurate but also equitable. We ought to be hopeful about the future, in my opinion. One negative aspect of the environmental movement, in my opinion, is that in its most extreme manifestation, people begin to see people as a plague on Earth and as essentially evil, with the idea that things would be better if everyone ceased to exist. This is the extinctionist movement, and I believe that the conflict between expansionist and extinctionist ideologies can be viewed as a fundamental one. And now for the big reveal, Musk's plan for humanity's future. He's thinking cosmically, not just huge. He is essentially the coach giving us the motivation of a lifetime with his expansionist ideology, pushing us to transcend our earthly limitations and reach the stars. When you can have the entire universe, why settle for the status quo? Musk maintains that our rocket fuel is a healthy dosage of optimism. His goal is to transform science fiction into science reality by illustrating a world in which people thrive rather than just get by. It's about kindling the desire in each of us to reach out and touch the stars, to construct, to explore, to grow beyond our wildest expectations, rather than just looking up at them. Tesla is directly impacted by this goal. Building a sustainable future on Earth and possibly on other worlds depends on the technologies being developed now, whether they are energy storage, autonomous driving, or renewable energy sources. Tesla is more than simply a car manufacturer. In Musk's goal to make life multiplanetary, it is an essential component. We are getting closer to lowering our carbon footprint and being ready for the future with each electric car, battery, and solar panel. He is therefore urging us to unite as dreamers and doers and push the boundaries for the benefit of our future as a group, not just ourselves. Let's turn it into more than a tale of survival. Let us transform it into a celestial legend. We're investing in a whole new world with Tesla at the vanguard of this technology transformation.